Hello there, and welcome to the very first video on GM Wrestling. This is a brand new channel, hosted by me, Mr. GM, or Dan, if you want to call me that. If you don't know, I also run a World of Warcraft channel, but I've always had a passion for professional wrestling. This is something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to run a wrestling YouTube channel, and this is our first video. So yeah, guys, if you want to join us on this adventure and you want to support this channel, please do like the video and subscribe. That'd be very much appreciated. So this very first video is just a conversation piece, just kind of a pub chat, a little bit about myself and a little bit about the WWE. So yes, this video is about how WWE make it so hard to be a fan of WWE. So yeah, I've been a fan of wrestling for as long as I can remember, and it was good. Back in, '04, I can remember SmackDown and Raw just being absolutely on fire back when I was younger, and all of that just in the 90s as well. You got WCW and WWF kind of fighting it out and everyone just having a great time of wrestling. Wrestling was crazy, the fans were crazy, everything was insane. But over the last couple of years, it just seems like it's just getting worse and worse. Now, I'm not talking about wrestling in general right now. Actually, in wrestling, we're in a good spot, right? We've got a lot of companies out there, AEW doing some wonderful things, Impact Wrestling doing some wonderful things. But WWE specifically, yeah, they struggled during the pandemic era. I really felt that. And look, at the end of the day, it's very difficult to be a wrestler without a crowd, I could imagine. I couldn't even fathom how difficult and annoying that was for them, but they struggled. But yeah, at the end of the day, there is no fans, but still the writing is just getting worse. And not only the writing and the stories and everything like that, especially leading into like WrestleMania. This year's WrestleMania just didn't feel that special, I guess. Maybe that was just for me. It was cool having the fans back for one night only, and obviously the crowds were absolutely nuts that night. But the match cards weren't great. It didn't feel like a WrestleMania, and I don't know why. I don't know why that's the case. Maybe that's just me. Specifically, I've actually been to 2 WrestleManias. I've been to 30 and 33, both extremely good, which also means I've never seen The Undertaker win at a WrestleMania, which is kind of funny. So yeah, I don't know. Something about this year's WrestleMania, and it's just kind of felt like the WWE just been kind of floundering around with their storylines. And obviously that's just a massive issue with creative and all of that and all of the bells and whistles that are going on there. But my biggest issue with WWE is Vince and just how kind of out of touch he is in regards to the talent that they have at WWE. And this kind of video and this kind of thought process started when they recently released Bray Wyatt. I honestly gasped. I could not believe they released Bray Wyatt the Fiend. It actually drives me insane that such an incredible talent and mind for the business, a third generation wrestler, might I add, released like he was nothing, like he was cannon fodder. And then people like Braun Strowman, who admittedly not the best in the ring, but I enjoyed what he was doing. He's fun. The kids loved him. He did that whole run around the ring thing. That was fun. They just release these talent like they're nothing. It's just crazy. It is just absolutely crazy. And then, like, you have Vince in the quarterly earnings, like, making a joke about all the wrestlers going to AEW. Like, come on, man. It's upsetting. It is truly, truly upsetting to see stuff like that. And, I mean, I've just come off the back of watching Dynamite last night. Malachi Black versus Cody Rhodes, an absolutely amazing match. And Aleister Black, like another incredible talent and a mind for the business, wasted in WWE. He was just coming back as well, and then they released him. Like, that was the craziest thing. It's like they have all these different, they have creative, they have management and whatnot, and they just don't speak. Or it's like they don't watch the product. It's like, yeah, Aleister Black came back last week. Oh, should we release him? Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. No. And then he goes to AEW and they make him an absolute star. And he was in the main event of AEW Dynamite in his first match. And that's just huge, right? That just instantly gives him that kind of star power. And he's always had that potential, and I've always really liked Aleister Black's stuff. I honestly am a bit of a WWE mark, but I've really been getting into AEW recently. I think they started off a little bit slow and I didn't really like it too much. But as the weeks have gone on and I'm watching Dynamite, and then you have these rumors of CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, people like that joining, that really gets to me, that really gets me kind of excited. CM Punk being one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and Daniel Bryan just being absolutely incredible. I really think they could do some good stuff in AEW for sure, right? It just feels like a better wrestling show, and it feels like creative actually do watch wrestling and know wrestling. I think there was a recent report of someone in WWE who didn't even watch the program and didn't know who Bobby Lashley was. Like, what the heck? That's their champion. That is the champion of the company. It's just crazy. It is just crazy. And I'll be honest, like, I sound like I'm just kind of crapping all over WWE here. They do some good stuff. I think putting the title on Nikki, ASH, I think they call her now, was good. I think that's good. Nikki is amazing, and she absolutely deserves the opportunity. I think the whole superhero gimmick, yeah, it's a bit silly, but it reminds me of, like, remember Rosie and Molly Holly and stuff like that, right? Back in the 2000s, it must have been now. And the Hurricane, of course, you can't forget about that. All of that. It's good merch pusher. It's good for kids. I understand that WWE at this point is obviously a PG show. They want to appease to kids, and they've got to have stuff like that at the end of the day. And I think that's fine. Honestly, I have no problem with it. And as I said, she does fantastic. She's great in the ring as well, so she's just a wonder to watch. But let's be honest, I hope they don't ruin it. I hope they don't ruin what they've got there and just randomly put the title on Charlotte for the 17th time or something, But yeah, it's just upsetting. And that's really just what I wanted to talk about in here, how WWE make it hard to be a fan. You can't be like, yeah, WWE the best, but then in the same breath, they release people like Bray Wyatt, Braun, Ruby Riott, all of these incredible talents who end up, other companies and flourishing, by the way. So at the end of the day, they were kind of like held back by the machine of WWE, which is, again, a shame. I want it to be good. That's the problem. I want it to be good. I want to be a fan of what they do, and I want to just enjoy it again. And I'm not. I'm just kind of complacent, I guess. I'm kind of annoyed. I don't mind Goldberg, that's fine, but the fact that he just kind of wanders in and just randomly gets a title shot, what's that about? That's a bit annoying, when there's such incredible other people who could be doing that right now. Maybe it's all a setup. Maybe it's, Goldberg will win the title, then Big E will cash in on him, and then everyone rejoices that Big E wins the title. And dude, that would be incredible. Big E champion, fan favorite, great guy from the looks of it. That'd be awesome. But once again, you always have that in the back of your mind that they're going to mess it up and they're going to do something that's not going to be good and it's not going to be favorable. But for some reason, they always think they're the best and they always think that that is the best plan. And maybe at the end of the day, I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the one that's out of touch with it. But I feel like when you have a segment on Raw recently, like with Goldberg, and they're chanting, "We want Wyatt," that's a whole stadium full of people who pay to come watch your product. They don't care about Goldberg and Bobby. They just want CM Punk and Bray Wyatt. And the fact that CM Punk was open to returning to wrestling and WWE didn't seem to care. And it's funny as well, because you see all these other reports as well. I always see it all the time on Squared Circle over on Reddit. About the networks and stuff being annoyed with WWE because they're losing Bryan, they're losing Punk and stuff like that to different companies. And it just shows that the networks seem to be more in touch with the fans than WWE. But anyway, that was a bit of a ramble. I just kind of want to give my thoughts. And at the end of the day, WWE do make it very, very difficult to support WWE, to be a fan, to enjoy their product, when you know that when these people get fired or released, that they have friends and stuff, the other talent really do suffer. Morale is down and they feel sad about their friends being fired for no reason, as cannon fodder, as literally nothing, like they're non-existent, It's just crazy. It is just really, really sad to see, and I hope for change, maybe one day. But guys, please do let me know what you think. Am I wrong? Am I right? Let me know in the comment section below. That'd be super, super appreciated. As I said, this is our very first video. They're not all going to be like this. We're going to do some top 10s. We're going to do some fun stuff as well. But I just wanted to get my thoughts out there on how I feel currently with the current product as of 2021, August. And yeah, do like and subscribe, guys. That'd be very much appreciated. And with that being said, guys, I will see you next time.